Afternoon all, how we doing? Everybody good? Afternoon Andy. Hope you had good morning sessions. Oops. Where am I? I've just got a DAX short on at the minute. I got two DAX shorts on actually. They shouldn't be that close together, but I had one underneath this long wick here, which is that one. And then I put another pending order in there as we pushed up, because I was looking for basically a drop. And I got slipped all the way down to there. So I've got two positions on at the same level. It's a hell of a lot of slippage. But anyway, I got slipped. That on that big candle, obviously the size of this, speed of this candle, it just slipped me straight in down here. So I'm short on DAX at the minute. I will have a look at the other indices at the open, but I'm on the DAX. What I might do actually is open another one. No, don't want to do that. Let me just see how this is all set up. Okay, that's all fine. So I'll put that on the NASDAQ. I'll keep that one there. Afternoon, Gary. So US dollar yen I got out of this morning down there. So I took the first one off from up there. The second entry on the reversal alert I took off at break even because we started to push on the US dollar when we got the news. So we got that big push up. So I basically put this one to break even because I had a feeling we were going to get some US dollar strength, which we did. Just getting some pushes on the DAX as well at the minute. The other trade I've got on is the Euro Swiss, which I took short. So I've got that initial position that I took up at the highs, and then an additional position as we broke down, and then I've got a third position ready to go here, which is a break of the 1 hour support. So if we break this level here, we've already tapped it and tried it once. We're tapping it and trying it again. If we break this level, we're at least off down to here. So, and then I'm looking to get out somewhere around the lows. I don't think we're going to get down there today, but we'll see. Afternoon, Diamond. Looks like I'm going to get stopped out break even on this one. A lot of buying pressure coming in at the minute across the board. Loads of buying, loads and loads and loads of buying pre-market. We've got 5 minutes to the open, but they seem to be buying up a lot. So yeah, Euro news basically, rates were as expected. Lagarde came on after that and said we are going to hike them, which we know anyway, but they didn't do anything with them today, which is good. And the US dollar retail came out as expected. So we were plus 0.1 and we were minus 0.1. So basically as expected. So nothing to write home about on the US dollar. And the US dollar had a bit of a push off the back of that. We had lots of news coming in from Williams on the back of the announcement, and obviously all the ECB stuff with regard. So, yeah, so pretty good morning. I've done fairly well this morning. I'm up $500-ish. So, just stopped out break even on those. Should have taken that off down there. I had about 0.6% down there. I didn't spot this double bottom, which I should have really, but Never mind. So yeah, so I can close that one down now. Concentrate on the Nasdaq. So ADRs today, CAD Swiss has hit. So we had a lovely bounce straight off of 100 ADR. It literally just tapped 100 ADR and then collapsed off of the top of that. So very nice reversal there. Problem with this MT4. Just got the reversal out on M5 on that, so you wouldn't have really got an entry very easily on that unless you were playing those tweezer tops and literally just getting straight in on that. Excuse me. Euro CAD just hit to the downside. I'm not sure about this Euro move. It's obviously very, very bearish, but I'm not sure whether or not they're going to pump it down today or whether this is just an initial flurry. It does look like it because we just put a new leg in. So normally what you'll see on news is a spike and then a retracement if it's just a new spike. They did do the retracement, but they've now pushed it down. So I think this looks like it's actually going to go south today, the Euro, but I don't know how far or how fast it's going to do it. So just going to hold on to it in a minute. Euro US dollar has come down very, very hard, as has the pound US dollar. Big strong moves on the US dollar combined with obviously that Euro weakness has driven this one down to 125. Again, I don't really, same as New Zealand dollar yesterday, don't really want to stand in the way of that freight train. This is a fundamental shift. Well, it's not a fundamental shift, it's expected news, but obviously they've decided to tank it. So pound Swiss, it came off of ADR as well. Missed that one, and US dollar Swiss. So there's been a fair amount of Swiss franc manipulation as well today. So we've got CAD Swiss, pound Swiss, US dollar Swiss. But we're 125 on that. Again, US dollar is really rallying at the moment across the board. So I'm expecting indices to drop potentially this afternoon. So we'll see what happens at the open. We've got 1 minute to the open. RSIs, the only thing we've got is the CAD Swiss. Again, it's hit ADR. That's come off of the highs already. So kind of missed that one. You had to get in very, very quick on that today. Regards just said something. Oh no, that's an old alert. Pound Swiss, ADR, and very nicely extended. So this looks like a really nice looking short to me at the moment, pound Swiss. I'm on the Euro Swiss already, so I can't really take this. Market's just opened. Getting nuts. So big, strong push. I really like this for a short entry. So this is a really nice entry short on the 5 minute. I'm in Euro Swiss, I can't really take it. But you've had a reversal alert already on this one. And we're just retesting at the moment this accumulation drop. So looks very, very nice as a short. Obviously it's bearish, but we're very extended on the hourly. So very good for a short opportunity. 4 hour, we're massively extended as well. So this is a lovely short. If I wasn't in the Euro Swiss, I'd be taking this because I'm in the Euro Swiss already. I don't want to take two trades against the Swissy at the moment at the same time, but that looks really nice. I think we're going to get a lovely drop off of that very, very soon. So look for signs of reversal on that. You've had the M5 reversal alert, M15. So it depends whether you're taking it off the hourly or off the 4 hourly. M15 or M5 as an entry. But M15, not quite yet. So looks good. And we've hit ADR today as well. It's just everything's aligned on that. Plus, we've hit the weekly range. It is Thursday. It's the last trading day of the week, really, today, isn't it? So, morning XCAP. 4 hours, pretty much the same as this morning. Again, CAD Swiss, we are extended on the 4 hour as well. So just coming up into a beautiful resistance at the minute at ADR. So that's looking good. Euro pound, so I don't really want to be long in the euro. Pound odd. Again, lovely looking short opportunity there. This is the level we were looking at to try and stay within. We broke out of it. We've tapped into the 72. This is your next level of resistance. Very, very, very strong. So if we do push up to there, that's a lovely looking short that pound odd. But it could well just bounce straight off the 24 and go from there. So looks good for a short. Pound Swiss we've already looked at. Pound yen, all yens look good for shorts regardless. I've got a pending order sitting on that one, as you can see at the minute. So I'm waiting to get into that. It's under the 1 hour reversal. Just waiting for that to happen. And pound New Zealand. So pound odd is much nicer looking than the pound New Zealand, I think, at the minute. But both of these, obviously, you haven't got far to go to hit resistance. So if you get in now and they don't work out, there's an additional entry there if you want to take it. So you can put half on here, half on there, and wait for the bounce from there. Indices. Oh, busy open. Don't like this. Why is my opening range high and low out? Got that set wrong. Let me just refresh that. Not sure if that's going to work, actually. No, it's not going to work, is it? I haven't got a proper template that I can do that with. That's all set up all right, isn't it? Yeah. Everything's set to force. Auto trading all set to force. Opening ranges true. There we go. That's a very wiki horrible open there. Not very nice at all. So DAX today. We had a lovely push down and we've pushed back up again. So we're still sitting within this range at the moment. NASDAQ, we obviously had the big push up. We have not gone anywhere. So we've basically returned to origin, back to where we were at the Globex Open. S&P's had a slight push up. The Dow's gone crazy. But yeah, so looking on the NASDAQ at the moment. So just going to wait and give this open a little bit of time to breathe. And based on the other indices, we're probably looking for longs today. Let's just try to get out long there. But we're in the middle of a sort of 1 bar pullback at the minute. It's, you know, there's no reason at all why we should just have 1 bar. But that is kind of what we're getting at the moment. So I'm just watching these levels really to see what happens when we get up there. Potentially looking for short plays, but initially may want to go long. So I'm just going to mark up these levels. 44.74. Miles away, isn't it? Is that right? 44.74. No, wrong instrument. Wake up. Yeah, sorry. So we've already tapped into the highs. Sorry, yeah, I'm playing the wrong instrument. Okay, so ignore that. So looking for downside targets, aren't we? Okay. I'm going to go the self-stop under the lows. So yesterday's low. Got potential support at the Asian high yesterday, which is pretty good support and resistance. So yeah, we've tapped into the highs from the previous day. and rejected those. So yeah, like it's short at the minute. We'll see what the price action does. How's everybody's morning been? Everybody made some money on that euro? I made some nice profit on the euro US dollar short as well. I took the euro US dollar short on the funded account. Made a few $100 dollars short in that very nicely. But I didn't trade much else this morning. It was just meh. Did move a little bit, so there was some movement this morning, but nothing dramatic really. There's a lot of selling coming in at the minute, but not a lot of downward movement. There we go. It's just starting to kick in now. There we go. So first short, pound US dollars just hit ADR. 150 ADR on the euro US dollar. Expecting a pullback on this if we're going to continue short. Just the EF, that's in good shape, yeah. Yeah, euro, obviously the euro is weak at the best of times. So I think the market was just waiting to put the next leg in. If you look at the euro pairs, we had 2 days basically of just correction. So I think they were just waiting for that announcement basically to put those moves in. So we push down, push back up again. It's just a waiting game, waiting for that news to come out. And now the news is negative. They can obviously move it. And I think obviously down, but we'll see. So we're just tapping euro US dollars, just tapping into yesterday's low at the minute. We're at 150 ADR though, so I'm not expecting a lot out of that this afternoon. But 3 hour solid down. We had, this is the thing, we had the ECB rate come out, and then we had Lagarde talking at the same time as the retail figures for the US, and we had Williams talking at the same time. So he pumped the US dollar as Lagarde dumped the euro. So this thing just obviously just went bleh and collapsed. So big move. But we're 150 ADR, so I'm not quite sure where else that thing's going to go today. We'll see. We're 9 hours solid down on the NASDAQ as well. That's 150 ADR just hit on euro US dollar. Closing that out at 0.2. There's a lot of selling coming in, but we've gone such a long way very quickly there. Just a bit cautious about this springing back up again. Still a lot of selling coming through, but I'd rather just stick that in the bank at the minute because I think we're just going to get a little bit of a pullback on this. You can hear all the selling coming in and see the selling coming in, and yet what we're doing is getting absorbed. Now we've got a bit more coming through. Just pop through now. There's a lot of buyers sucking this lot up down here. every time the sellers stop coming in, literally we're popping green like this. So there's a lot of people trying to get out. So look for a pullback, potentially getting short again. Just a bit concerned about how far this has moved. ADR on euro pound. Euro's collapsing still hard, so don't get in the way of the euro. US dollar is also pushing really hard. Approaching 150 on the US Swiss. What's New Zealand dollar up to today? So New Zealand Swiss has recovered all of that. We've got a very weak Swiss franc at the moment, off the back of the euro news. Obviously, euro and the Swiss move together. So apart from that, New Zealand doesn't look particularly strong. $1.75 euro US. God, I wish I'd have kept that on. I had a short on this. What did I have that short on? I had it short from 109.097. I had it short from there. Boom. Where did I get out? 109. Where did I get out? 108.878. So I got out here. So I shorted it from there down to there. Missed all that. But it did start to push back, you see. So that's why I exited the position here. We pushed down all the way down here. I held it for that. And then we started to push back. And it obviously pushed all the way back up to there. So I got out as we started to push back on it. Nice trade, but who would have known that was going to go down and do 175 ADR in 2 hours? Unbelievable. Still going as well. Not going to get back on this. Wish I hadn't got out. This train is not stopping. We're unloading for the bank holiday weekend by the looks of things. I'm loath to hit the sell button here, but I can't see this pulling back at the minute. Missed it. DAX is going the same way as well. It's just solid selling. S&P and the Dow are doing exactly the same as well on M5. Big push down. S&P, big push. Starting to relax a little bit now. So that level on the Nasdaq is over 100 ADR away, and then 14,100. So these are the two main levels to the south of us. Potentially yesterday's low, which is just under ADR as well. And obviously this high here, potentially we could find support to bounce there as well. So looking to see if we can jump in on a pullback if we get one. I mean, I'm not getting in after 2 minutes of pullback. I think I want a little bit more than that. It's a big move, that. Big move. Blimey. Anybody capture that? Or rather, if we got in with me, did anybody stay on it? No need to use the RSI on the 1 minute time frame. You can do if you want to. The trouble with 1 minute time frame is it gets like, so the RSI, if I stick an RSI on this now, you'll see how embedded it is. When you get a strong trend, the RSI just gets embedded. God, that's nice and thick, isn't it? What the hell? So you'd want a fast one on a lower time frame. Jesus, this thing's not stopping, is it? So, you know, I mean, when if you're looking for an 80-20 signal, you haven't had one all day. Yeah. But what you'll find is when you get down there, you can get embedded down there for a long time on the 1 minute. Some people use it. I think it's, yeah, 7. 7 is quite often what's used. 5 or 7 a lot of the time. 14's kind of, it depends. It's a bit slow, but I mean 14s and 7s is really the norms. But 7s and 5s is quite often used by some people. Similar ones that are used on the daily. But yeah, I mean you catch it up there. You see, whoosh, just carried on going. Carried on going. Got that one down there. You would have caught a nice rip there. We haven't had any others, but that one there was a nice one. One there, one there. So yeah, it can be used, but I don't use it. I trade when you're scalping on this sort of time frame. Price action is much better. To see what the market's doing. You're trading chop, basically. Blimey, 2-bar pullback. Not letting you in, is it? Jeez. Just entered third position, Euro Swiss. We're at 175 ADR on the Euro US dollar. We've just tapped 100 on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a 75 point trailer on that first position, this one up here, to take that off. We're at ADR, and all the other euro pairs are absolutely flying. Christ, this US dollar is not stopping. Remember I said we wanted to go short this afternoon because of the US dollar strength? There you go. Wasn't expecting it to be quite that strong though. That fib makes absolutely nothing at all. I can't hit the short button down here because as soon as I hit the short button, we're going to retrace. Some good rejection coming in. I might take a counter trend long if we get some buying entering here with a very tight stop on it though. So yeah, I'm just going to trail this basically because we've hit, there you go, Euro US dollar 200 ADR. You're not going to get in on this today. Missed the boat. Should have held that position. You never know. This is an exceptional push from the US. So we got 200 ADR, 175. Just can't get an entry on it really. So yeah, I'm just going to trail this one down because we are hitting absolute extremes on euros at the minute, and US dollar. Unbelievable. Just watching these things come down on my other screen. Look at that. What a short, eh? I got in there and I got out here. No one would have known that was going to happen. Blimey. Now, you see, if I'd have gone and made a cup of tea and got talking to the postman for 15 or 20 minutes, I'd be absolutely loaded now. Never mind. Postman came too late. Euro CAD 150. CAD Swiss just hit weekly range. Jeez. Euro New Zealand. You know that New Zealand is weak at the moment. Shows you how weak the euro is. Euro yen. Remember I said the euro yen is the one you want to get on. Didn't quite get that entry. I wanted that entry up there. Shame. Okay, I'm just going to get taken out of that in a minute, I think. 150 euro CAD. Here comes the buyers. Okay, so I'm going to try a quick buy. This is counter trend. Whoops. Stop just below this potential support area. I just heard some buyers entering there. Monthly range has just been exceeded on the euro US dollar. Weekly range US Swiss. So we've got some buyers entering now. So just taking a quick long. See if I can get a quick counter trend scalp. Be nice if we get 200 ADR out of this one. Whew. And not stop. And not pull back more than 75 points. That'd be lovely. What do you mean? Okay, so that's the opening drive over by the looks of things. That was a big sell-off. Big sell-off. So I have seen your question, Cap. Just watching what's going on at the minute. Had given up on being a trader, but after watching your videos, I believe it is possible. Went back to studying English to understand your instructions in real time. Wow, there's dedication. Learning another language. Good man. Yeah, it's all doable. There you go. So I'm out of first position. Euro Swiss. So I've still got two shorts on. Anyone can be a trader, but it's the discipline and the psychology part that is what stops 90% of people from making it. It's very, very easy to, every time you see an IRB, stick a sell order under it. Yeah. It's very easy to teach someone to do that. Teaching someone to hold it is very, 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 very difficult. And teaching someone to cut their losses is very, very difficult. And that's the psychology part. Anyone can learn a strategy. And pretty much every strategy out there will work if you can follow it. It's not learning to trade, it's spending time in front of the charts and understanding market movement, and having this sort of stuff burnt into your eyeballs so you know when it's likely something is going to happen, and you only learn that by watching it and seeing it. This is looking to me like a flag. Just going to bring this up under those lows, just reducing the risk right down on this. This is a very, very risky counter trend against this beast. So I'm just reducing risk tiny. I don't mind taking a tiny 0.1 loss on it. But we've dried up. Those buyers that were coming in have decided not to buy, which I don't blame them. That's probably just profit taking on the sales. Whoa. I feel exhausted after watching that. I mean, that's why I use an EA. EAs don't have sentiment. Yeah, EAs have a use. Definitely EAs have a use. But they are also not very good at making decisions. They're good at following orders, but you won't find a strategy that works in all market conditions. Therefore, you can't teach an EA. It's very hard. You can teach an EA. You can make an EA do anything. But an EA can't know the predicted outcome of the euro rate being 0 based on what's happened over the last week. You know, there's just stuff that you can't teach an EA. And regardless of whether or not you know or you have an inkling of where something is going to go, if it goes the other way, you can't teach the EA to adjust and flip long. There's too many things going on in the market, in all markets, in all instruments, to teach something. You can teach an EA to say, when this does that, that does that, do this. But do you want to do that at that point? Which is why I use my EA semi-automated most of the time when I'm position trading to I set up different rules for it based on what I want it to do at that particular point. Do I want to target a quarter of an ADR or half an ADR? What do I feel about this? That's the feeling bit. It's the discretionary part of trading, which is very important. Come the buyers. I don't think we're going to get up here. That TP is just there because that's just what I've got set. I'll take 0.5% off of this if we can get it. I don't think we'll even get that, to be honest. But pound CAD, ADR. We're heading, pound US dollar is heading for 150 ADR. US dollar Swiss is just about to hit 200 in a couple of pips. That US dollar is off. There's no other news this afternoon, by the way. We've just had the University of Michigan sentiment report, which is not... that's a leading indicator that's used by the analysts. It's not something that moves the market, but it's an important one for the analysts to forecast. That's quite a big change, actually, for the positive. So normally we've been very, as you can see, we've been very negative on the sentiment. That's quite interesting. That's positive outlook. When you've got rising interest rates, for people to have a positive outlook is unusual. But the Fed uses that for some unknown reason. I've never understood why. They do, though. It goes into all the analysts' scorecarding systems for some reason. I don't know why. So it's only like 500 people. They ask 500 people a question, and then they base their economic decisions on it. But anyway, I'd probably want to ask a few more. Moving this to break even. It's not interested, is it? I was hoping basically for a bit of a profit take move off of this drop. I want it to be faster, but this is the mother of all flagpoles, and that's the mother of all flags at the moment. So I'm expecting this to come down again in a minute. UJ just hit 76 retracement from yesterday's move. I don't know what this was. 76.4. Don't use a 76.4. Do we use 76.4? Don't know. It's only 1.9. You can use it. It doesn't matter which level you use really, but yeah, it's pulled back around about 3/4. It's always rough. Around about 3/4 pullback. There you go. Just taking out a break even on that. Yeah, I think you got to be careful shorting the US dollar today. This thing's obviously quite happy at the minute. I wouldn't want to be going against it, but equally, yeah. I mean, it's technically, yeah, it's a 50% retracement on US dollar CAD. But I don't know whether the trading technicals is the right thing to do at the moment with this strength in the market. Going with another short underneath that IRB. Look at the S&P. We've got a little bit further potentially to go. Mind you, that's just an A-shaped recovery. So we can kind of ignore that. Oops. Got a bit heavy there. Short one more on the DAX. Let's go DAX. DAX, NASDAQ even. Do you know what? One day I will get that right. It's because I trade the DAX all morning. I'm automatically still trading the DAX. It's the same thing basically. It's an index. It all does the same stuff. Holy crap. I got in very heavy on that. Here's my P&L on my funded account. Love it. When you get them, you get them. Closing one. Protecting the second. Should have taken a second position there. I did on my funded, but 7.5 grand this week. Ended up on 2.2 last week, so 9 grand in 2 weeks. Obviously only get 75% of that, but okay, closing that out, done there. Another 0.5%. So these are all the levels to the downside we've got to be aware of. That one obviously we've just screamed through, so potentially looking for a pullback and then drop down to 13,924, 13,888. We are approaching big round number level though. We've got 14,000 again. Been at this level, I don't know how many times I've seen this level, 14,000 over the last however long. We like it a lot. So we've got to be careful of that level. The only reason I got out of this, I can't believe the US dollar is going to push any more. It's starting to weaken. The US dollar CAD's coming down. US dollar yen's coming down. US dollar Swiss is topping out at 200 ADR. And the pound US dollar and euro US dollar are starting to gradually pull back. So I'd expect a little bit of a pullback on the indices. We don't seem to be getting it though at the moment. This thing's just like a steam train. What's going on with euro? Okay, so euro Swiss, this is pulled back. So we just had a reverse alert on this one. So that's glad I got out at ADR on that. Euro Swiss obviously is much slower mover than a lot of the others because Euro and the Swiss, obviously, both European. Strong trade partners, and obviously the Swissies mainly financial. So you tend to get a much more that sort of movement on it, but it obviously tends to be down because of the euro. The Swiss franc will typically power up and push the euro down, and the euro is obviously very short anyway. Swiss yen's just at ADR as well. Loads of ADRs today. They're getting out for the weekend. I think this is partly what we're seeing. So yeah, I'm not too worried about pullbacks on this because you're probably going to find it's a gradual grind as we go further down. But I'll monitor that one. Not sure if I want to hold it over the weekend, but obviously Putin is building up for potentially the start of a second incursion, and what I don't want is something dramatic to happen over the weekend that could hurt and cause a big gap. So Diamonds just pointed out, just approaching the 38 retracement. So if it's going to be a strong trend continuation, somewhere between 38 to 50 is where you tend to see the pullback. A little bit like a moving average pullback, but that was flag. Of course, it's very tricky to get into this today. At some point this sell-off is going to end. Who's buying Microsoft? They give everything away for free now, don't they? I do wonder how these companies make money now, because like I've just signed up for Xbox Live for the Game Pass because there's a game my son wanted. So I signed up for that for £1 for a month, and then it renews at £8 a month, and I get 100 games for that, and they also give you all the EA games as well included in that for free. So all the Battlefield games, all that sort of stuff. You know, these are all titles that retail at $50, $70, and yet I've just got the whole lot for £1. It's mental, isn't it? It's just, how do they make money? Yes, I'm going to pay them £70 over the period of a year, but I suppose you get 1 million people doing that. Not bad income, is it? Okay, so we're just starting a second flag. $200 US Swiss, just managed to get there. It's not stopping. US dollar. US dollar CAD pullback has just just pushing back up again. ADRs all over the place. This is a good example of confluence. Yeah, so we had Apple buying, Nvidia selling, which is neutral. Buying on Tesla, selling on Facebook. What we're looking for is everybody doing the same thing at the same time, which will drive one direction on the index. So it's the confluence of everything moving at the same time. So everybody's selling Facebook, everybody's selling Amazon, everybody's selling Nvidia. And that is an indication of the funds executing the next batch of orders, which is what you see. Batch of orders executed, profit take. Batch of orders executed, batch of orders executed. And what they're doing is they're executing the first batch. They're waiting for price to pull back to get a better price for their customers. Execute the second batch, wait for price to pull back to get a better price, execute the next batch. So this is telling us when they're starting to trickle orders in like that. So it starts selling, starts if it stops, that's when you want to think, right, might want to get out of this one. What we're looking for is timing it so that when that starts to trickle in, we get that avalanche, which is what we just had there, where you get, you know, a good couple of candles push. That's enough. That gets you out. Super short term. Not going yet. US dollar Swiss has just come off the highs. So a load of buying coming in yet. So that wasn't the next batch. US dollar Swiss is just coming off 200% ADR. So it's starting to get a little bit tired, the US dollar. We're seeing all the US dollar pairs starting to show a little bit sign of this stopping. Look at this. Pound US dollar. Nuts. I'm going to try one more under these lows. US Swiss up at the 38 now. Potential double top. Oops. At resistance. Well, it's not really resistance. Hasn't quite got there. Somewhere around there. We've got this accumulation breakout here. So somewhere in here I would expect to see the sellers that pushed that price down step in and try to do a second leg. The breakout of 100 level on the Dixie is really strong, yeah. Don't forget 80% of breakouts fail. Short one, Naz. That was a short-lived little flurry there. We may be a bit tricky to tell at the moment. We may be trying to reverse here. We have just put in a new low though, so we're undecided down here. Yeah, I haven't got the Dixie on here, but the Dixie is pretty much Euro US dollar upside down. So where's my Dixie on? So that's the Dixie. So there's the 100 level. Whoops, where are we? There. All the way down there. So we had broken it already. Yeah. So what would have happened on that breakout here is everybody saw it break out, fail, break out. Everybody's gone long. Yeah. Then they've come down and they've put a false breakout in. So what's everybody done as soon as we've broken back down below the 100 level? Sold. Where's their stop? There. So everybody that's sold the false breakout at 100 has just been taken out. No reason to turn there. So yeah, difficult to tell what's going to happen with this now. This could quite easily just be a liquidity run to dump the Dixie, in which case we will see indices start to fly again. But we'll see. It's pulling off the highs at the moment anyway, so but it has broken twice. So, you know, I mean, there's a good possibility that this is a breakout. You know, we've run up at it, we've failed, we've had another run up. It's whether we hold this level. Today is key. If we hold this level above 100 today, I would say this is a breakout, which would bode well for the indices bear market that we're expecting. So it would all make sense. But nothing makes sense in the market at the minute because a certain person living in Russia could easily upset the apple cart at any moment. We're stalling down here. I think I'm the wrong side of this. The way it's gone today, though, this thing could easily just do another leg without pulling back. Didn't pull back last time, did it? I'm not quite sure how much further it can go, though. What was the problem? US dollar CAD 5-minute signal. What do you mean by what was the problem? Do you mean this? This is just breakout retest at the moment. Potentially. So if you're taking the initial break, your stop's up there, so you're just in a trade at the moment. If you're taking the retest, you're waiting for this to break back down below there to get that arrow, and then you're taking that M pattern reversal. Any avoidance tactic for fakes? False breakouts, you mean? Or fake signals? There's no such thing as a fake signal. The signals that don't work, but that's trading. Signals are going to fail all the time. That's why you have confluence with other indicators to give you more reason to take an entry. So that US dollar CAD there, if you took that M5 reversal, obviously it's still in play at the minute. You've taken it at ADR confluence, which is good. So it's hit ADR. So your odds at the moment are 58% that it won't go beyond that point. So your odds are in your favour already. If you took it, you have also taken it at a prior level of support, which will turn into potential resistance. So it's got that going for it. And you've also taken it at a Fibonacci retracement level of 50%. So you've got that going for you as well. So you've got confluence. Whether it will hold or not, I couldn't tell you. No one in the entire universe, not even Thanos, can tell you whether that is going up or down. Nobody knows. It depends what the 10 banks that control the market decide to do with their next order flow. No one knows. At the moment, all that is telling you is that there has been a break in structure to the downside. So we have shifted to a potential short position. Whether that is going to happen or not, I have no idea. No one has. No one has. No one can tell you. Every time you hit the button, there's a 50-50 chance you'll be right. That's all you know. It's going to go up, it's going to go down, it's going to go sideways. Apart from that, I can't help you. Just reducing the risk down on this. I don't like the this bottom holding here. We are potentially just accumulating for another leg, but we're potentially accumulating for a reversal as well. We've done a lot today. We've moved a long way, very, very, very fast. I love these wicks on M5, but equally I don't like these wicks on M5. It's a bit of a dodgy place to be taking a trade, to be honest. But which broker do I use? This is Forex. But I also use... well, actually, to be honest, I only use Forex at the moment. I normally use Axie and DarwinX, are my other main brokers. And I've got a funded account with MFF as well. And with Apex. But I don't really use that. I should do. I tell a lie, I do use it, but not. I've really gone off futures since the war started, to be honest. It's too risky. It's too high risk. I have to take trades in it to keep the account, though. I'm just deciding whether or not to get out of this. Probably going to have the decision made for me, I think, anyway. But this needs. I think we're probably at the point now where we're going to want to sort of pull back to the 50. If we're going to continue with another leg short, which after that dump, I'm not sure we are. I think there's a possibility we may just grind back today. If you look at it on the daily chart, mind you, it's still got a bit of room. There's every opportunity for us to do this one bar pullback and just put in a bearish engulfing today as well. So, you know, either or. No. Can Euro US dollar go downside any further? Yes. I think it can. Whether you'd want to get in down there, though. I mean, taking a short at 200% ADR, even if there'd been a fundamental shift in the interest rate, I'd still be very wary about taking a short at 200 ADR. But yeah, no, this thing will come down. I'm pretty sure. You look at it long term. You know, why nothing's changed. Nothing in the world has changed, apart from being more negative for the euro. So yeah, this thing will continue to drop. I think we've got a very good chance of getting to one to one on the euro US dollar. Fundamentally, with what's going on at the moment, it's just been taken out of that one. I don't think I'm going to take any more on this today. This accumulation is it's not even really a flag, is it? It's sideways, and this is not really something you can read anything into. If you get a break to the downside, you've got to pick a wick. It's like if you get a break to the upside, you've got to pick a wick, but they will just take these wicks out on the 1 minute chart. This is just chop. We're just sitting in an accumulation at the moment, waiting for the next leg. So next leg, I suspect, may well be up because we've got the US dollar starting to show signs of weakness. US dollar Swiss, for example, on the M5. We just had a reversal alert, which we're retesting on that. So if we start to get that, we will start to probably get an incline on the indices. So I don't really want to take any more on that one. Run the risk of just getting chopped to bits, especially on the M5, on the M1 time frame. M5 is probably the safest thing to trade on at the minute, but look at the wicks. It's just, there's no direction. The market is in equilibrium at the minute. We are grinding up slowly, which is a flag. So I would look, if we get back up to this sort of level, potentially you could short it from there, but it just feels to me like this thing could go at any moment, and obviously you can't time the market. You just have to be in at the right time. So just got a bullish reversal on M15 on Euro Swiss. Yeah, I've had one on M5 as well. So this one, I'm going to see where we are towards the end of day. This level obviously is held nicely, and we are around the 24 moving average. So it's, to me, this is an incredibly, you can see on the chart, it's obvious, this is an incredibly strong support resistance area. Price loves this area. It loves to bounce off of this area. This is our third knock on the door trying to get through, and we've rejected very, very harshly. It is looking a little bit more bullish at the minute, but I don't think that's necessarily going to hold. I think we'll probably push down towards end of day on it. If we can end up down here somewhere around about ADR, I'll probably hold this over the weekend. If we're hovering around break even where I am at the minute, I will probably close this out just in case we gap. I mean, it's more likely we're going to gap down, isn't it, with the euro than up. It's not like something miraculous is going to happen over the weekend that's going to make the euro more strong. It's more likely something miraculous is going to happen that's going to make it tank. But I'd rather have a bit of a buffer to hold over the weekend, really, on that. But that's the only thing I've got open at the minute. I'm not holding anything else. We're stuck here. M1, you don't want to be trading M1 anymore. I don't really want to be trading M5 either. This is horrible. So we're stuck here, basically, on the NASDAQ. So this area of support resistance. When we do break this, if we break this, we've got loads of room. You got quarter of an ADR plus to the downside if it breaks. So under the lows, why did that not put in? Oh, there we go. There's a bit of a delay, wasn't it? sell stops under the low, and you'll be looking, if you get in there, stop above the high and tank. I think that is the play for this afternoon. Video link to my strategy. Best thing to do is go to the website. I don't have a strategy. Well, I do have lots of strategies, but I don't. Everything I do is on here. So if you go to the free education part, I'll put a link in YouTube. So you got a 5-day bootcamp course. There's tons and tons of educational videos on there, and then there's videos about the indicators that I use as well, and the EAs. At the moment, I'm scalping, going short one more on the Nasdaq. This isn't my normal strategy, what I'm doing here. This is just pure price action at support resistance trading. So I'm just trading normal candlestick patterns, strong closes, inventory retracement bars, bearish engulfings, equal highs, equal lows, long wick candles, that sort of stuff. The only reason I'm doing this is because of what's going on with the war at the moment. The FX market's in a bit of a mess. So you won't find any information about this strategy out there because it's literally just price action candlesticks. I just took a short on my funded account with half position size. Why is it always the big moves you get in with half size? So there's your break of the flag. Don't forget, flag breakouts can also be false breakouts. Let's hope we get a load of red. I think I might make this my last one of the day. This could be the end. So you will often find the very last move of a trend is a strong one, a strong closed candle. So this is the market flushing those final orders out. And then moving back in the opposite direction. Potentially, obviously, that's not necessarily what's happening here, but the fact that this has just gone totally silent, there's no more sellers stepping in at the moment. Here they come. There's some more coming in now. But so if you look back, kind of need to be. So when you're in a nice little trend, the final candle is quite often a big, strong close. And that's where you start leg one of your W reversal in this case, because it's obviously a bullish reversal. Come on, I don't want to end the day on 2 losing trades. I'm reducing risk down on this as well massively. I'm not taking a 0.5% risk on this. If that candle gets invalidated, it's a false breakout. So I'm out on the invalidation of that. I'm going to give that a little bit of room, actually, because of the big old spread at the minute. So if this does turn out to be a false breakout to the downside, look for a second leg pullback to go long. And then we should be able to break back up. But we haven't got down to that level yet. There's no real reason to turn here. I'd be much more inclined for them to get down to this level. Or at least to come and test 14,000. We haven't even tested 14,000 yet. Should at least come and retest that. But we'll see. They like a retest of a round number. That is a 2 inside bar setup. You can't read that because it's a strong close candle and a 2 inside bar setup on the same candle. But 2 inside bar is a strong close candle followed by a green retracement candle followed immediately by a red retracement candle. So it's a push, retracement, push. It's a 2 inside bar. When it breaks the low of that, there's an entry short, which it actually did there, but we had another little retracement. In fact, I'm going to stick another one underneath there. So just put it back into this reversal alert on the Euro Swiss. So for me, I want this invalidated ideally. Nice rejection at resistance. Definitely running out of steam, aren't we? Pound US dollar and Euro US dollar both got nice W's forming. Haven't had the reversal alert on it yet. But they're both looking like we've got some bullish action coming. Don't like the look of this. Closing it near. So this might be the end. So if we get a break above these highs here, and a higher low with some bullish price action, I think we're probably maybe looking for longs. We're struggling to get lower at the moment. We've done it all in half an hour. We've had this so many times, haven't we, over the last few weeks? Literally, you need to be in with a short or a long position at the open. It completely screams down, and we spend the rest of the session just going nowhere. They're putting the moves in so fast you can't get into them. But they're all still looking pretty good on the from a trend perspective at the moment. 1 minute charts on these, we are still trending nicely, putting back nicely into the moving averages. We are just though starting to look a little bit more bullish now. Break those highs, which we're just about to do on the S&P. So we officially got bullish market structure. Got low, high, higher low. Just made a higher high. But we're straight into resistance. So potentially there's a drop. Yeah. Could go either way. But I don't really know which way. And to be honest, I've made plenty this week. I don't really want to give any back. Trying to second guess the market with about 3 hours left before a long weekend. So I'm just going to cancel that pending off as well. So I think I'm done for the day there. Not a bad day, all in all. Euro Swiss, I'm going to hold. If we are sort of down towards ADR, if we're not down towards ADR, I'll probably get out. So I'm literally at you can see my break even is here. Literally at break even on these two positions at the minute. So I'm going to give the market a few hours to decide whether it wants to put another leg down in or whether it wants to stay where it is. We're just sitting nicely in the 2050 area. Yeah, roughly where we dropped from previous. So could be a short. Hard to tell now. We're in a horrible sideways chop fest. So yeah, that's all I've got on at the week at the moment. I've got some pending orders on US dollar yen. I don't need that anymore. Sell limit up there. Yeah, I've got a pound yen pending. So this is the only other position I'm potentially going to get gathered up into when we break this high here. So that's based off of this RSI extension on the 4 hour. So we've been really nicely embedded now for 2 weeks. Not embedded, but we've been really nicely grinding up for 2 weeks. All this week we've kind of bounced. And now we've hit that high and we're rejecting off the top of it. So that's the reason for the trade, is we've hit resistance. I'm looking for a reverse alert on the 4 hour, but obviously I'm going to be taking it off of lower time frames. The hourly I'm looking at the minute. Sellers are coming in. Watch this low. It's rejected. So, technically, if that was the final push, this is your best possible entry on a two-leg pullback. Wait for this candle to close. No, it's invalidated. So we've got a lower low. So everyone's go lower. Still. Who knows? This is a tricky one today. It's too fast, too hard. And now it's too choppy. We are still double bottoming potentially, but we have just put a new low in. So I would say we're probably going to get another leg down to 1400, 14,000 rather. So it's not far to go. We've got like 26 points. But it's not worth the risk. So yeah, so I'm looking to get in on an H1 reversal alert. Basically when that triggers. Hopefully to get some of this yen strength showing. US dollar CAD 125 ADR. Jeez, look at US dollar CAD. That was pulling back a minute ago. Remember, we looked at that on M5. That was that reversal alert. Completely invalidated. Shooting off to the upside. So there's still some life in this US dollar yet. US dollar yen starting to push up ever so slightly. US dollar Swiss is double topping at 200 ADR. Difficult to get in front of this, really is. Aussie dollar US dollar is just starting a new leg down. Big move. So hopefully that bodes well for Euro Swiss. If we get continued US dollar strength, we could well see the euro continue to get pushed down. So we'll see. Okay, so that's all from me for today. I will be back on Tuesday. So no live rooms tomorrow, no live rooms Monday. We're shut. It's bank holiday. So we got bank holiday tomorrow. Euro. Is it a bank holiday in the US? Who's in the US? Is anybody here in the US? Is it a bank holiday in the US? I'm not quite sure. It's not on the calendar for some reason. I'm pretty sure Easter is everywhere. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the markets are shut tomorrow. So the futures markets. If not, I might trade some. No, I won't be allowed to. So I'm not here tomorrow, Friday. I'm not here on Monday. Back on Tuesday. And next week, we've got no real news over the weekends to worry about. Tuesday, we haven't got a lot happening. We've got CAD CPI on Wednesday. We've got Bailey speaking Thursday. That's it. And then we've got German PMIs and European PMIs. Well, actually, it's all PMIs, excuse me, next week on Friday. So next week is a very, very, very light news week. So, yeah, not particularly interesting. Israel, is the market reversal alerts indicator attached to your chart? Yes, it's that one there. That does that. Links on the website. Go and have a look at the website. It's all on there. So yeah, have a good weekend, everybody. Have a nice, long, relaxing weekend. Turn charts off. Try not to sit there looking at charts all weekend, as tempting as it is. Spend time with family and do other things. So yeah, back Tuesday, and we'll see what has happened over the weekend. We got 4 days of not trading, so there's 4 days of news potentially to affect. So I'm hoping on Monday Tuesday we might have some decent gaps forming across the indices. So we might have some good gap opportunities to profit from on Tuesday, but we'll see what happens over the weekend. Obviously, anything can happen at the moment with what's going on with Russia. So nice push down on the euro, continuing off that US dollar strength. Okay, so have a good weekend. Anything you need, I'll be in the Telegram group. If you want a link to the Telegram group, it's coming up in a second, just after the stream. There's links in the description as well of the stream if you want it. But yeah, have a good one, and I will see you on Tuesday. Don't eat too much chocolate.